Welcome back to my channel. So, andito na naman si Binibining Lindsay para mag-share sa inyo ng panibagong kaalaman. So, for today's video, ang magiging focus natin is ano ba yung mga dapat nating paghandaan or i-prepare na documents, na requirements, and of course, ano-ano tong mga criteria na dapat nating paghandaan kung mag-a-apply tayo for promotion and reclassification under Expanded Career Progression System for Public School Teacher. So, i-discuss natin yan ng mas detailed at mas clear sa video na ito. By the way, ang basis pala natin ng explanation and discussion nito ay galing sa Executive Order Number 174 Series of 2022, DepEd Order Number 20 Series of 2024, DepEd Order Number 19 Series of 2025, at itong nga DepEd Order na kalalabas lang, no, yung DepEd Order Number 24 Series of 2025. So, yun yung magiging basis natin ng discussion for today's video. Ayan, tara, samahan nyo akong isa-isahin yung mga process and mga requirements na dapat nating i-prepare kung mag-a-apply tayo for promotion and reclassification under ECP system. So, ang magiging focus lang po muna natin is for elementary and junior high school teachers. Alright, so simulan na po natin itong content na to about sa clear and detailed discussion of requirements and criteria for promotion and reclassification under ECP system for elementary and junior high school DepEd teachers. Okay, so we have to understand na magkaiba yung promotion and reclassification, no? Pagdating sa process. Pero, under ECP system, magkaparehas lang sila ng criteria. Ulitin ko po ha, magkaiba lang ng process pero magkaparehas ng criteria na susundin, no? And of course, alam naman natin na sa promotion, meron kasing vacant position kang pupunan o dapat punan, kaya nagkakaroon ng open ranking for that. So, ibig sabihin may kalaban ka, irarank kayo kung mag-a-apply ka. While in reclassification, wala ka ditong kalaban, no? Sarili mo lang ang kalaban mo dito sa reclassification. Okay, so simulan na natin muna dito sa mga documents na kailangan nating ipasa. Yan. Kung mag-a-apply ka for promotion under ECP system. Promotion pa lang po ito, ha? Yan. So, DepEd Order Number 20 Series of 2024, yung naging basis natin dito. Ito yung mga documents na kailangan nating i-prepare. Okay, so all interested applicants to vacant positions shall submit the following. Okay, una na dyan is yung letter of intent addressed to SDS containing the following information. Statement of purpose, expression of interest, and learning area subject group they intend to teach or if applicable. Duly accomplished PDS, CSC form number 212, revised 2017 with work experience sheet. Okay, photocopy of voter's ID, or proof of residency, photocopy of valid and updated PRC license. So, yung mga, dyan ha, mga PRC nyo, make sure na valid at updated, no? Photocopy of certificate of board rating, photocopy of scholastic academic record, TOR, diploma, yan. Photocopy of duly signed service record or certificate of employment, photocopy of latest appointment, photocopy of certificates of relevant specialist training or professional development programs, photocopy of valid technical education and skills development authority. Ito kadalasan naman to, yung may mga TVL na ina-applyan or kung TVL yung a-applyan mo. Pero, nabasa ko dun sa DepEd order na kung magpapasa ka ng TESDA, make sure lang na align siya dun sa field of specialization mo. Pero mas safe pa rin kung ang ipapasa natin ay yung mga trainings talaga na relevant dun sa subject natin. Photocopy of required performance rating with at least very satisfactory. So, tatlo, no? Yung recent mong performance rating. So, yung last year, yan, in the last 3 years. So, 3 years yung kailangan. Checklist of requirements and omnibus sworn statement of certification or yung CAV, yan, of documents submitted and data privacy consent form pursuant to RA number 10173. Data Privacy Act of 2012 using the attached form Annex C. Yan. So, tingnan na lang po natin dun sa DepEd order mismo kung ano tong tinutukoy dito. Pero CAV lang din naman to, no? Other documents as may be required by HRM, SB, including but not limited to portfolio for the assessment of identified PPST non-classroom observable indicators. So yan po yung mga kailangang documents natin kung mag-a-apply tayo for promotion under ECP system. Pero documents pa lang to na isasubmit, no? Hindi pa dyan kasama yung proseso natin na mga isasubmit nating iba pa na pasok sa criteria na ipapakita natin later. Okay? And for reclassification naman, ayan. So, ito naman yung mga documents na kailangan nating isubmit kung magpapa-reclass, no? Ang basis naman natin dito is yung DepEd Order number 24 series of 2025. Okay, so all interested applicants for reclassification shall submit the reclassification form for teaching position. Ito ang RFTP Annex B1. So, sa memo mismo nito, makikita natin tong reclassification form na to. Nasa dulo banda. Hanapin lang natin sa Google tong DepEd Order number 24 series of 2025. Makikita natin itong RFTP. The RFTP form is a tool for determining the appropriate classification of position. It contains information on position title, unique item number, and authorized salary in the current personal services itemization and plantilla of personnel. The form reflects the applicant's attainment of the minimum qualification of the position per CSC approved QS. So, ito nga, nakalagay yun dito sa RFTP, yung QS, no? Yung performance and comparative assessment results, no? The RFTP shall be supported by the following documents. So, ito naman yung mga documents for reclassification. Of course, letter of intent, yan, address to SDS na nakalagay din yung statement of purpose or expression of interest, and yung position na gusto mong applyan. Duly accomplished PDS with work experience sheet, photocopy of valid and updated PRC. Halos same lang naman siya ng sa promotion, nagkakaiba lang talaga sa process. Certificate of competency level issued by authorized body, photocopy of scholastic record, yan, TOR, diploma, including completion of graduate and postgraduate units. Photocopy of duly signed service record, photocopy of latest appointment, photocopy of certificates of completion, yan, NIAP, accredited professional development programs, courses, certificates, yan. Or mga certificates ng trainings mo na relevant sa profession mo. Okay, photocopy of technical, TESDA, same lang din, no? Basta align dun sa subject mo. Photocopy of required performance rating. So, yun po, at least very satisfactory rin. 3 performance rating ang kailangan natin dito, no? Pero, syempre, sabi ko nga, hindi lang naman ito yung documents na kailangan. Checklist of requirements and omnibus sworn. Yan, same din yung CAV. Other documents as may be required by HRMP, SB, including but not limited to portfolio for assessment of identified PPST non-class observable indicator. So, kung mapapansin natin yung mga documents ng reclass and promotion, halos same lang din naman po, no? Okay. So, ito na. Ito yung point system for comparative assessment, no? Yung mga criteria na dapat nating paghandaan. So, andyan yung education, yung training, yung experience, performance, and itong PPST COIS and PPST NCOIS. So, may total maximum points siya na 100. Okay? Education 10, training 10, experience 10, performance 30, PPST COIS 25 points, PPST and COIS 15. So, dito sa video na to, tingnan natin yung prosesong pagdadaanan natin. Same ng promotion and reclassification, itong criteria. Ulitin ko po same lang po sila ng criteria, yung promotion and reclassification under Expanded Career Progression System for Public School Teacher. Okay. So, simulan natin dun sa tatlo. Etong education, training, and experience. So, ang basis natin ito is DepEd Order number 24 series of 2025. So, dun ko po binase yung discussion natin. So, sa education, units and or degree that exceed the minimum qualification requirements as defined in the CSC approved QS which shall be relevant to the position to be filled shall be given corresponding points. Makinig po mabuti, no? Ayan. So, sa education po, meron kasi tayong QS or qualification standards. Sa education, sa training, sa experience, yan, meron. Pag sinabi natin qualification standard, minimum requirements. So, meaning to say, kapag nakuha mo yung minimum requirements na yon, pwede kang mag-apply dun sa certain position na gusto mong applyan. Okay? So, clear tayo dun. So, pwede kang mag-apply once na sa pool or mag-get mo yung QS na yon. Okay? Yan nga lang, kailangan mag-exceed ka dun sa minimum qualification requirements. Ano sinasabi dun? So, kung yun yung QS, mas taasan mo pa siya, yung mga ipe-prepare mong documents or requirements pa nagpasa ka na. Bakit? Kasi kapag QS lang, wala kang puntos. Pero kung mahigitan mo yung QS mo, magkakaroon ka ng puntos, no? Pwede ka pa rin mag-apply, kaya lang 0 ka dun sa certain criteria na yon. Discuss pa natin maya-maya ng konti, no? Pagdating naman sa training, hours that exceed the minimum qualification requirements as defined in the CSC approved QS acquired after the last promotion but within the last 5 years. Okay? Only L&D or training in curriculum pedagogy or in relevant subject, learning area specialization or strand, such as but not limited to relevant NIAP recognized professional development programs and courses shall be given corresponding points. So ito naman yung dapat nating tandaan pagdating sa training. So, kung teacher 3 ka, example lang to, no? Kung teacher 3 ka, yan. Mag-a-apply ka for teacher 5 or teacher 6. Yan. So, dapat yung training mo is nung nag-teacher 3 ka. Lahat ng na-acquire mo nung nag-teacher 3 ka, yung training mo doon, yun lang yung pwede mong gamitin. Hindi na pwede yung training mo nung teacher 2 ka, nung teacher 1 ka, hindi na siya pwedeng isama. Yung naging training mo lang nung simula nung naging teacher 3 ka hanggang sa kasalukuyan. Okay? Kung mag-a-apply ka for certain position, especially yung higher teaching position. So, yun yung sinasabi po doon na malinaw po yun. Pagdating naman sa experience in teaching that exceed the minimum number of months, years as defined in CSC approved QS. So, parehas yung tatlong yan, kailangan mag-exceed ka dun sa minimum qualification standard, no? Para ka magka-points, no? Sa experience naman, ang counted ay yung experience mo sa public school, no? Yung experience mo sa public school ang counted. Okay, so tingnan natin tong qualification standard natin, no? For elementary and secondary level. So, i-discuss ko na yung sa teacher 2 na ha. Yan. Sa teacher 2 for elementary and secondary, same lang naman. Ang QS, at least bachelor's degree in education or bachelor's degree in relevant subject or learning area with at least 18 professional units in education. Yan. So, malinaw po ha, ang QS. QS lang po ito ha, qualification standard. Minimum requirements lang po ito. So, kapag meron ka neto, pwede ka mag-apply doon sa position na yon. But it doesn't mean na may points ka. Okay? Kaya nga po doon sa mga previous video, sinasabi ko po sa inyo, importante na meron tayong unit sa masteral or sa doctorate. Pero pagka naman teacher 2 to teacher 7 ang a-applyan mo, kahit unit sa masterate degree, importante yon. Kasi sa master teacher naman, of course, dapat may units ka naman sa doctorate degree. Okay. Diretso natin, no? Sa experience naman, 1 year teaching experience, ang QS, 42. Sa training, 8 hours of training. But cumulative points po to, no? Mahalaga rin na tandaan na yung mga certificate dapat may number of hours para matanggap po siya as requirement. Okay? Yan, of course, yung eligibility, same lang din naman, no? RA 1080. Okay, so for teacher 3 naman, elementary and secondary. Yan. Ganun din, bachelor's degree in education or bachelor's degree in relevant subject. Experience, 2 years teaching experience. Training, 16 hours of training. Cumulative ulit to. Pwedeng curriculum, pedagogy, subject specialization acquired within the last 5 years. Pero sabi dun sa discussion natin kanina, acquired within the last 5 years, pero dun sa last position mo or current position mo, okay, nung na-promote ka before, okay? Yan. So, for teacher 4 naman, for elementary and secondary, bachelor's degree, ang QS, of course. Sa experience, 3 years na, no? Pataas na siya ng pataas. Of course, habang tumataas yung posisyon na applyan natin, pataas na pataas din yung qualification standard. And for training, 16 hours of training in any or cumulative of the following: curriculum, pedagogy, subject specialization, or yung NIAP training or courses na ina-attendan natin, no? For teacher 5 naman, elementary and secondary, same pa rin ng education or QS education, bachelor's degree. Sa experience, same din, 3 years teaching experience for T5 to, no? And for training, 24 hours training in any or cumulative of the following. And of course, kung may NIAP, requisite professional development program kang in-applyan or courses. Okay, so for teacher 6, same pa rin ng education na bachelor's degree in education. Sa experience, at least 4 years teaching experience. Sa training, 24 hours of training in any or cumulative of the following. Yan. So, same lang din, no? 24 hours nga lang din dito. And of course, kung may NIAP ka, pwede mo rin siyang i-count. Ulitin ko po ha, dapat yung training nyo may number of hours na nakalagay sa certificate. For teacher 7, elementary and secondary, education, same pa rin yung QS, no? Bachelor's degree in education. Sa experience, 4 years teaching experience. Ang count na experience natin ay yung first tayo sa public school. Yan, yun yung counted, yung nagturo tayo sa public. Sa training naman, 32 hours of training in any or cumulative of the following. And yung NIAP, Requisite Professional Development Program. Yan. So, yun po yung mga kailangang qualification standard kung gusto mo mag-apply from teacher 2 hanggang teacher 7. Malinaw po yun, no? Na dapat higitan natin yung qualification standard. Kung meron ka niyan, pasok ka. Pwede ka mag-apply dyan sa positions na yan. Pero, syempre, kailangan mahigitan natin para magkapuntos ka. Okay. So, for master teacher naman, elementary and secondary, so, naiba na yung QS, no? At least master's degree in education, educational leadership, or educational management, or relevant subject of learning area. Sa experience naman, at least 5-year teaching experience. Sa training, 24 hours of training in any or cumulative, specialization, pedagogy, or yung NIAP. For master teacher 2 naman, elementary and secondary, master's degree in education, same lang din ng QS, no? At least master's degree ka. So, paano ma'am? Pwede ba ako kung management, kung subject? Pwede po. Okay? Pwede po siya. Pero, QS po ito, no? Kapag mag-a-apply ka sa master teacher, para ka magkapunto sa education, kailangan may doctoral units ka na or doctorate units or CAR, yan. Mas mataas na units, more chances of points, no? Sa experience naman ng Master Teacher 2, yan, 5 years teaching experience and 1 year relevant experience in instructional supervision and technical assistance to teachers. So, para ka makapag-apply dyan, meron kang experience sa pag-handle or pag-TA sa mga teachers, no? And sa training, 24 hours, training in any of the cumulative of the following: curriculum, pedagogy, subject specialization, and 8 hours of instructional supervision acquired within the last 5 years. Cumulative lang naman to, no? Ibig sabihin, pinagsama-sama sa following or in the following trainings, no? For example, kung titingnan natin, kapag empty na yung a-applyan mo, kasama din sa training na points or makakount na points kung meron kang training about instructional supervision, no? Pero isa lang naman yun, no? Pwede pa rin naman yung mga pedagogy, curriculum, or NIAP. Okay? So, for Master Teacher 3, Master's degree pa rin, of course, yung QS for Education. For experiences naman, 5 years teaching experience and 2 years relevant experience in instructional supervision. Of course, habang tumatagal, syempre, nagiging tumataas din yung years ng pagti-TA sa mga teachers, no? Kapag Master Teacher ka. 24 hours of training in any or cumulative of the following: curriculum, pedagogy, and kung meron ka nga training sa instructional supervision or NIAP seminars or courses. For Master Teacher 4 naman, same pa rin ang QS for Education, at least master's degree. And then for experience, 5-year teaching experience and 3 years in relevant experience instructional supervision. And for trainings, 24 hours din, no? Pero tingnan natin na iba po. And 16 hours of training instructional supervision acquired within the last 5 years, no? Tumataas din po, no? Okay. Next is Master Teacher 5. Master's Degree in Education pa rin yung QS natin. Yan. So, sa experience, 5 years teaching experience and 4 years ka na dapat sa instructional supervision and technical assistance sa teacher. Sa training naman, 24 hours of training in any or cumulative of the following. Pero meron din dapat na 16 hours of training in instructional supervision acquired within the last 5 years or yung NIAP nga. Okay? So, yun po yung mga qualification standard natin kung gusto mo mag-apply for higher teaching position and for different position from Teacher 2 hanggang Master Teacher 5. Ulit-ulitin ko po, qualification standard. Kung meron ka na mga yan, qualified ka mag-apply for that position, no? Pero malinaw rin dapat na alam natin na hanggang 3 sa ECP system, hanggang 3 salary grade lang yung pwede nating talunin. Okay? So, hanggang 3 salary grade lang. So, kung teacher 3 ka ngayon, hanggang teacher 6 ka lang pwedeng mag-apply. Hindi ka pwedeng tumalon agad for master teacher, no? Dadaanan mo talaga yung proficient teacher, highly proficient teacher, distinguished teacher, yan. So, dadaanan mo talaga siya kasi hanggang 3 salary grade lang pwedeng tumalon. Ayun po. So, ito yung QS, pero kailangan mag-exceed tayo sa QS. Yan po yung malinaw sa ating DepEd order. Okay, so dako naman tayo dito sa performance. Okay, so yung performance ay may 30 points, no? May 30 points siya. Sa performance, yan. Performance in the latest rating period covering one complete performance cycle in the current position with at least VS rating. Okay? Pero, meron pong certain number of indicators na dapat ka maka-VS or maka-outstanding. So, discuss natin yan ng dire-diretso dito sa ating mga ipapakita. Okay, so for performance requirements for teaching position, the initial evaluation shall likewise include the determination of the applicant's performance. So, kapag reclass, yan, meron na nga kasing sinasagutan na form. So, doon, makikita na agad natin yung initial scores natin or meron na agad initial evaluation sa reclass, no? So, teacher applicants, a rating of at least very satisfactory in the last rating period covering 1-year complete performance cycle in the current position as evidenced by the Performance Management and Evaluation System or PMES, Individual Performance Commitment and Review Form, IPCRF, shall be required. In addition, applicants shall be required to satisfy the set performance requirements. So, ito na nga po yung sinasabi ko, no? Of the position applied for based on at most 3 rating periods reckoned from the immediately preceding performance cycle completed. So, makinig po tayo dito sa part na to, no? So, meron kasing certain number of indicators na dapat outstanding ka or very satisfactory ka in certain position. So, syempre, mas mataas na position, mas mataas yung qualification or na kailangan dito sa performance. Pero ang malinaw dito, yung last 3 years mo na performance rating ay dadalhin mo lahat, no? Regardless kung isa lang doon yung titingnan na doon lang pasok yung set of performance requirements, kailangan pa rin yung dalawa, no? At yung dalawang yun dapat at least may very satisfactory pa rin na rating. Okay, so tingnan po natin itong mga position. Position applied for. So kung T1 ka, ayan, ito yung mga pwede mong applyan. Hanggang 3 salary grade. Kung T1 ka, pwede ka mag-apply hanggang T4. Pero syempre, kailangan masunod mo tong mga classroom observable indicators and non-classroom observable indicators na requirements kung ilan yung very satisfactory and outstanding mo. Okay, for teacher 2 tayo. So, dapat meron kang 6 na proficient COIS na very satisfactory. So, tingnan pa lang natin dito agad. Sabi mo kanina, 3 IPCRF rating yung kailangan. Eh, yung 6 na COI na yan, pwede na yan agad makita sa isang IPCRF rating. Yes, tama po kayo, no? Pero kapag mag-a-apply ka sa higher teaching position from T4 hanggang T7, kailangan dala-dala mo yung 3 mong IPCRF rating at kailangan yon ay VS yung rating kung hindi man magagamit yung dalawa kapag chinek itong certain requirements na to sa performance mo. Okay, may bibigay tayo example mamaya, no? Na illustrative example. So, Sa non-class of observable indicators naman, 4 na proficient NCOIS mo ay dapat very satisfactory. Sa teacher 3 naman, at least 12 proficient COIS mo at very satisfactory. And then, at least 8 proficient NCOIS at very satisfactory. So, tingin naman tayo dito sa higher teaching position na, no? Yung T4, meron ka dapat 21 proficient COIS at very satisfactory. So, ilang ano yon, diba? Ilang IPCRF rating yon? 16 proficient NCOIS at very satisfactory. Sa teacher 5 naman, at least 6 proficient COIS at outstanding. Nakikita nyo po, pag pataas ng pataas yung position, pahirap ng pahirap yung requirements. At least 4 proficient NCOIS at outstanding. Sa T6 naman, at least 12 proficient COIS at outstanding. Sa NCOI naman, at least 4 proficient NCOIS at very satisfactory and 4 proficient NCOIS at outstanding. Sa Teacher 7 naman, at least 18 proficient COIS at outstanding and at least 6 proficient NCOIS at very satisfactory and 6 proficient NCOIS at outstanding. Sa Master Teacher 1 naman, 21 proficient COIS at outstanding and 8 proficient NCOIS at very satisfactory and 8 proficient NCOIS at outstanding. Sa Master Teacher 2, at least 10 highly proficient COIS at outstanding and at least 5 highly proficient NCOIS at very satisfactory and 5 highly proficient NCOIS at outstanding. Master Teacher 3 naman, 21 highly proficient COIS at outstanding, 8 highly proficient NCOIS at very satisfactory, and 8 highly proficient NCOIS at outstanding. Sa Master Teacher 4, at least 10 distinguished COIS at outstanding, and at least 5 distinguished NCOIS at very satisfactory, and 5 distinguished NCOIS at outstanding. Sa Master Teacher 5, 21 distinguished COIS at outstanding, and 8 distinguished NCOIS at very satisfactory, and 8 distinguished NCOIS at outstanding. So, meron ako ditong example na, ayan, illustrative example. So, nakalagay dyan yung date of assessment, position applied for. Halimbawa, mag-apply ka for Master Teacher 1. Yung performance requirements na kailangan sa Master Teacher 1 ay 21 proficient COIS at outstanding, 8 proficient NCOIS at VS, at 8 proficient NCOIS at outstanding. So, yung number of performance ratings submitted to meet the performance requirements ay 3 IPCRFs from 2024, 2025, and 2023 and 2024, school year 2022-2023 showing 37 PPST indicators meeting the required performance rating. Okay? Next. Dito naman tayo sa illustrative example number 2. Yan, date of assessment, position applied for, T3. Yan. Performance requirements, 12 proficient COIS at BS, 8 proficient NCOIS at VS. So, number of performance ratings submitted to meet the performance requirements. IPCRF from 2024 to 2025 showing 8 proficient COIS at VS and 6 proficient NCOIS at VS. And the IPCRF from 2023 to 2024 showing 6 proficient COIS at VS and 5 proficient NCOIS at VS. So, dito na papasok yung discussion natin. Sabi mo kanina, 3 na IPCRF rating ang kailangan. Eh, hindi naman po kasi bagong position tong Teacher 3, diba? Ang pinag-uusapan kasi natin dito na may 3 rating dapat kang dadalhin is yung higher teaching position ngayon under ECP system. Ano-ano yung mga yon? Yun po yung Teacher 4 to Teacher 7 na nire-require na 3 pa rin talaga yung dalhin mong IPCRF rating at yung Master Teacher 5. Okay? So, 3 talaga ang dadalhin mong IPCRF rating. Pero kung Teacher 2 and Teacher 3, kung alin lang yung hinihingi na COIS and NCOIS at VS or outstanding, yun lang yung dadalhin mo na IPCRF. Kagaya nga nitong illustrative example number 2, 2 IPCRF lang yan, no? Hindi na nare-require na 3. Kasi hindi nga kasi yan under ECP system. Yung under ECP system kasi is yung mga higher teaching position nga na sinasabi ko. Tingnan natin tong illustrative example number 3. Mag-a-apply ka for T5. Ang current position mo ay Teacher 2. Yan. Ang performance requirements mo ay at least 6 proficient COIS at outstanding and at least 4 proficient NCOIS at outstanding. Kung mapapansin natin, isa nga lang na IPCRF rating, pasok na yan, 'di ba? Makikita na yan agad. Pero hindi. Kasi nga, pag higher teaching position na applyan mo, 3 pa rin na rating yung kailangan mong dalhin. Kahit pa, etong at least 6 proficient COIS na to na outstanding at 4 proficient NCOIS na to na outstanding, ay titingnan lang dun sa 2024-2025 mo, showing 6 proficient COIS at outstanding and 5 proficient NCOIS at outstanding. Kailangan pa rin yung 2 pang IPCRF rating. At yung 2 IPCRF rating mo from 2023 to 2024 at 2022 to 2023, kailangan at least VS yung rating mo doon. Okay? So, yun po yung malinaw. Ayan. Okay. So, next po. Meron kasing nagtatanong, hindi ko siya kasi masagot talaga directly. Sabi nila, paano kapag meron akong satisfactory dun sa indicators na yon? Halimbawa, mag-apply ka for T5. Tapos, ito yung kailangan na requirements or performance requirements. Tapos, sabi mo, meron kang S or satisfactory dun sa indicator na yon. Anong mangyayari? Madi-disqualified ba ako? So, hindi ko siya masagot directly, pero sasagutin ko siya based sa DepEd order. Based sa DepEd order, kailangan nating sundin kung ano yung hinihingi. So, kung mag-a-apply ka for T5, ang kailangan lang is yung 6 proficient outstanding at 4 proficient NCOIS na outstanding. Ang titingnan kasi yung IPCRF mo nung 2024 to 2025, eksakto na meron ka dong satisfactory. Nasunod mo ba yung performance requirements? So, hindi. So, anong sagot? So, pwede ka ma-disqualified. Okay? So, sinagot ko lang naman po base po dito sa DepEd order. Okay, next. Dako naman tayo sa another criteria, yung Classroom Observable Indicators or yung COI. Yan, the teacher's demonstration of COI shall be assessed through the conduct of classroom observation using Classroom Observable Tool for Recruitment, Selection, and Placement of COT-RSP. Focusing the following COT rubrics. So, ito, nilagay ko lang yung mga rubrics, no? Yan. Yan po yung mga rubrics. Pwede nyo pong i-screenshot and i-search kung ano-ano tong mga levels na to. Okay? Yan. So, tingnan natin yung pinaka-process. Etong PPST Classroom Observable Indicators na to, ito po yung titingnan kapag magpapa-classroom observation ka na or magde-demo ka na. For example, mag-a-apply ka for T2. Ito yung mga classroom observable indicators na kailangan mong paghandaan. At dito mo i-align yung lesson plan mo. Dito. Okay? So, naano ko po na po yan na-upload ko na po kung ano-ano yung mga classroom observable indicators. Kaya hindi ko na pinakita dito sa video na to. Tingnan nyo na lang po. Each position, nag-upload na po ako ng mga classroom observable indicators na kailangan mong pagandaan for demonstration. So, ulitin ko, no? Yung ipaprepare nating demo, dito naka-align. At each position, may iba-iba siyang classroom observable indicators. Uploaded na po yan dito sa ating YouTube channel, no? So, tingnan nyo na lang po. Okay? Tingnan nyo na lang po. Uploaded na po yan kung ano-ano yung mga classroom observable indicators na yan. Okay, punta tayo dun sa process. Ito yung general guidelines sa classroom observation. Okay, so the designation of subcommittee for the conduct of classroom observation shall take into consideration their understanding, knowledge of PPST COIS. So, sinasabi dito, of course, dapat yung mag-observe that sa atin or mag-assess sa atin, merong kakayahan or may understanding dun sa knowledge ng specialization natin specially. So, may nakalagay nga dito, no? Example, master teachers in higher rank than the position applied for head teachers, school heads, public school district supervisor, education program specialist, and supervisor. So, sila yan, no? Pero, syempre, yung mag-grade sa atin specifically dun sa content ng dinidiscuss natin, ang pwede lang doon mag-grade, of course, yung merong kakayahan na mag-rate doon, no? Or yung may expertise doon sa learning areas na yon. There shall be 2 or 3 observers who will conduct the classroom observation. Observers must not be related, ayan, to applicant within the 3rd degree of consanguinity or affinity. Ayan. Classroom observation shall be done in actual classroom setting with learners. In the event when an in-person face-to-face conduct of the classroom observation is not feasible, the conduct of the online observation may be allowed, provided that the classroom observation protocols are observed. Pero of course, ano pa rin yan, no? Face-to-face, actual talaga. Okay, so sa pre-observation, Ito no, ang kailangan nating paghandaan. The applicant shall submit a copy of their lesson plan and instructional materials based on the identified indicators per position applied for review and reference of the observers. So, mag-a-announce yan ng date kung kailan ka dapat magpasa nito. The subcommittee observers shall discuss and agree on the appropriate indicator under Domain 3 should be used for assessment of each applicant based on their specific classroom context. The observer shall review the COT, rubric, and forms to be accomplished. Yan, more on for observers to, no? The observers shall review and familiarize themselves with the lesson plan prepared by the applicant. So, kailangan magpasa tayo ng maaga ng lesson plan dun sa date na intended at binigay sa atin kasi i-review pa siya ng mga mag-observe. Dito naman tayo sa actual observation na. The applicant shall be observed for the entire class period in reference to the submitted lesson plan. So, tatapusin, no? Only the observation notes form shall be brought and accomplished by the observers during the actual observation. The observers shall record in the observation notes form their comments and observation on the applicant's performance. Okay. Dito naman tayo sa post-observation. The rating sheet shall be accomplished individually by each observer after the actual observation. So, may naka-note dito ha. Only the teaching demonstration shall be rated. The lesson plan and instructional material submitted to the observer shall only serve as reference. So, ang pinaka-i-rate pa rin sa atin is yung teaching demonstration natin. Reference lang yung lesson plan and instructional materials. Pero of course, importante yon, no? Importante yon. Observers shall put on record under other comments of the rating sheet and inter-observer agreement form when the applicant's demonstration of any COI falls below the desired rating of 5 for teacher 2 and 6 for teacher 4 to teacher 7 and 7 for master teacher 1 and 8 1 and 2 and 8 for master teacher 3 to 5. So, saan galing ang mga numbers na yun? Dun sa rubrics. Okay. Only the subject specialist shall rate indicator 1. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, diba? No, ang pwede lang mag-rate sa atin nung subject content natin na align dun sa specific indicators, syempre, yung subject specialist lang din, no? Okay, an inter-observer agreement exercise shall be done whereby all observers discuss their reasons for the rating in each indicator in case of different ratings, and the observer shall come up with a final rating which is not an average of their individual ratings, but a rating based on their reason and consensual judgment. So, bakit dinidiscuss ko to, no? Para alam natin at aware tayo, paano tayo gagradean, no? Paano yung process nitong demonstration natin. Okay, dako naman tayo dito sa non-classroom observable indicators. Same din ng classroom observable indicators. Meron din tayong specific NCOIs for different teaching position na applyan natin, no? So, uploaded din yan sa ating YouTube channel, no? Search nyo na lang, tingnan nyo na lang ano-anong mga indicators, non-classroom observable indicators ang kailangan nyo pagandaan kung mag-a-apply kayo for certain position. Okay. So, importante itong NCOIs kasi dito naman natin i-align yung tinatawag nating portfolio annotation form and yung BEI or yung interview, no? Okay. So, ito yung mga assessment tools na gagamitin for NCOI. Yan. So, pinakita ko lang naman. Kung interested lang kayong pag-aralan, go naman, no? Dito tayo ngayon sa process, no? Yung guidelines or general guidelines or protocol in administering and assessing the demonstration of the non-classroom observable indicators. Yung PAF nga at saka yung BEI. The designation of subcommittee, of course, yan din. Mga expert din ang ilalagay na mag-a-assess dun sa ating NCOI na PAF at saka yung interview. There shall be 2 or 3 assessors who will assess the applicant's demonstration NCOIs through PAF and BEI. The assessor must not be related to the applicant, of course. Applicant shall accomplish the PAF and undergo the BEI on the scheduled day of assessment. Meaning to say, kung anong araw ka nag-PAF, ganong araw ka rin i-interviewin. Assessor shall individually rate the applicant's responses to the PAF and BEI using the rubrics for demonstration of NCOIs. So, yung PAF kasi is 10 points and yung BEI ay 5 points, no? Okay, An inter-assessor agreement shall be done whereby all assessors discuss the reasons for the rating. So, same lang din dun sa COI kanina or classroom observation, kailangan merong reasons kung bakit yun yung naging rating, no? Okay, so punta tayo dito sa portfolio assessment. Yung, meron tayong sasagutin ditong portfolio annotation form, no? The HRM PSB shall identify a designated location, preferably a room for applicants to accomplish the path. A proctor shall be assigned to discuss the instruction and oversee the process. The path shall be accomplished on the spot, no? So, the submitted, dito po may kailangan meron kang i-prepare na MOVs or portfolio containing the applicant's MOV shall be the basis of their annotation. The corresponding NCOIs in the applicant's present career stage shall be used. Okay? So, na-prepare na dapat natin yung mga MOVs kasi alam naman natin kung ano-ano yung mga indicators na yun. So, yun yung dala-dala mo at yun yung gagamitin mong MOV dun sa pagsasagot mo ng PAF. The applicant shall be given at most 2 hours to accomplish the complete set of PAF. In the event when an in-person face-to-face conduct of assessment of the demonstration of NCOI is not feasible, applicant may accomplish the PAF online provided the following protocols are applied. So, hindi ko ito babasahin na, pero kung yun nga, if ever hindi face-to-face, kailangan ma-provide mo tong following protocols na to. Pero most of the time naman kasi, sabi ko nga, face-to-face naman siya kinakandak, no? If ever lang na hindi mag face-to-face, so ito po yung mga dapat nating alam or ma-provide na protocols. Using the rating sheet of portfolio annotation, assessor shall indicate the rating attained by the applicant for each of the NCOIs in the rating column and shall be used the portion other remarks to write down statements that support the given rating. So, lagi dapat may reason kung ba't yun yung naging rating natin. Applicants who fail to submit MOVs for any NCOI shall automatically get a rating of 0 for the portfolio assessment component for the particular NCOI with no MOVs without precluding the applicant undergo the BEI. Okay? So, dapat po meron ka talagang MOVs na na-prepare na or portfolio na na-prepare na bago ka magsagot ng portfolio annotation form. Okay? So, importante. Kasi kapag wala ka niyan, masisiro ka. Isa kasi yun sa kailangan, no? Next. Sa interview naman or yung BEI. So, the conduct of the interview shall follow the procedure and protocols indicated the RSPI Handbook Volume 1. So, para rin to sa assessors, no? Sila yung yung mga interviewers, sila yung magka-craft ng sarili na lang interview question. Pero naka-align pa rin siya dun sa NCOIs, no? For each position. The interviewer shall be used to validate the applicant's responses in the PAF to further assess the demonstration of the NCOIs. It may also be used to collect the complete and detailed information about the applicant and verify their credentials. The applicant's potential characteristic or traits and fitness shall be assessed through the interview. Pero syempre, naka-align pa rin sa NCOIs yung mga questions sa interview. The interview shall use the STAR situation task action result approach to validate whether the key behaviors that are linked to the required competencies have been exhibited by the applicant. The STAR approach draws focus on actual situation in which the applicant acted, the tasks that the applicant faced, the actions that applicant took, and the results of those actions. So, may rubric din kasi talagang ginagamit dito sa interview and dun sa PAF, no, na kailangan nating sundin. Using the rating sheet for the BEI, assessor shall indicate the rating attained by the applicant for each of the criteria in the rating column. They shall use the portion other remarks. Of course, meron pa ring reason dapat yung mga assessors natin or rater natin kung bakit yun yung points na binigay nila sa'yo for interview. Applicants who failed to submit MOVs for any of the required NCOI shall still undergo the BEI, through which they may earn points in other components except for the alignment with NCOIs, which validates annotation to the MOVs submitted. So, napaka-importante po dun sa PAF natin yung MOVs, no? Kasi iba yung rating natin sa PAF or portfolio annotation form or assessment natin dun sa interview. Kasi nga yung PAF, 10 points, yung interview ay 5 points. Pero ang malinaw dito, mga ma'am and sir, is dapat naka-align siya dun sa NCOI, dun sa position or certain position na applyan natin. So, kailangan natin siyang i-review ng mabuti. Okay? So, yun po yung mga process, requirements, and criteria na dapat nating paghandaan kung tayo ay mag-a-apply for certain position. Specifically, ito nga mga bagong position or higher teaching position nating a-applyan. So, itong guidelines natin ay under na po siya ng Expanded Career Progression System for Public School Teachers. So, ito na po ay new guidelines, no? Question, kailan ito? Sa ibang school po, nag-start na sila, no? So, paparating na sa ating mga division yan. So, dapat ngayon pa lang prepared na tayo sa kung ano yung mga dapat nating i-ready. Yan. So, thank you for listening and fighting. Sana po ay may na-share ako po na-share ako sa inyo. Yan, na magagamit nyo sa inyong preparation. Bye!